begin. This is my first developer live where I'm trying to teach myself low-level programming, and the reason for streaming this is to make it a returning habit for myself to invest focused time on what I need to learn, what I want to learn, and also be confident in sharing my mistakes as well. The things that I don't know and I want to learn, and come out of this cycle of being perfectionist for what I want to share. So with that being said, I want to basically follow these goals that I have for this session today. I expect it to take me like 40 minutes to complete it, and yeah, I want to share it over here and mainly store it for myself in future to get back to it and review it. So first of all, why Zig? The main reason being this is I want to learn low-level programming languages. I have experienced a few of them in terms of starting to learn, but gave up in the middle of the way, including Rust. Gave up in the middle of the way, main reason because I found it too distracting for the rules it has, the requirements it has, and the type of abstraction they provide is kind of getting on my way in the beginning, the way I want to start and learn the details of the systems that I want to learn. The best choice for me would have been C, and there I also have this confusion sometimes of which standards to follow, and there are, even though the language itself is quite small, it happens a lot that I get confused between the standards I need to follow and the different coding styles available out there, and some of the quirks of the language itself, especially with macros, can be quite confusing. I did a bit of a research around it and came up with a few modern languages that are kind of balancing the issues I face, and Zig came up top, so I just want to follow it and try to first learn it and also build some projects around it and share this as a journey on this YouTube channel. That's basically it. I think the exciting stuff about the language I will learn in this journey, and I can then talk more about it. One other thing that I want to make it clear for myself, my future goal is that I'm not going to consider this as the only language, low-level language I'm going to use for my project. But definitely this would be the starting point, and the feature of the how they focus on making the language explicitly communicating the definition of the program is kind of interesting to me in that regard. Hopefully it can help me to also understand how the system actually works without too much of abstraction. From there I can easily, I believe, transfer that kind of knowledge to many other languages and use it there. To learn it, I'm going to use a hands-on approach as suggested in the video's title. I'm going to use Ziglings, and let's start going over it. This is not the first time I'm doing these Ziglings. I think a few months ago I have done it like 50% of it, but kinda lost the habit after a while. The life kicked in and I didn't have enough time for a while, and I needed to take care of other stuff. That's also one reason why I'm starting these developer logs, so I can yeah, I have and a schedule to get back onto that habit. So hopefully this trick this time works and I can actually learn the language. Yeah, without further ado, let's clone this repository. Actually, not this one. Yeah, this one. And move exercises to Ziglings. And yeah, this is it. I'm running a NixOS, and I'm going to use dev-env to set up my developer environment with everything I need. So dev-env init, and at the same time I can also maybe go sorcery experiments, learning Ziglings, and then Nix. The first thing I need to take care of is installing Zig itself, but the problem is the default version available in Zig packages. Okay, let me check again. Is 0.13, which is quite old, and Ziglings somewhere in the documentation indicates that they need an alpha version of the Zig. Yes, this version is needed. To solve that, I wrote a blog post a while ago on how to install it using the setup provided by Michel Hashimoto, the guy who developed Ghosty Terminal, I believe. He is, and also HashiCorp and Terraform and a lot of other good stuff, but recently released this project, Ghosty, which is a terminal, and he used Zig language for it. And yeah, he is maintaining this awesome overlay for Nix, which provides nightly builds of the Zig language, and I'm going to use that. However, when I was preparing myself for this channel, I learned something new, and that's the setup for the language server. I'm going to share it in this video as well. What is the error? But basically the problem is that dev-env by default also installs ZLS, and the flag I'm going to use here, which I believe somewhere here I need to define. Now I don't have any Zig installed. Maybe I can save it. Yes, so that's fine. Like this, enable through and package. Maybe enable NXT and then package inputs Zig packages. I think like this should be. Actually, I think I have a copy of this. Okay, packages, that's systems. Master. Now it's going to install this Zig package out of the Hashimoto's overlay. However, it's also going to install ZLS with this configuration. But the ZLS version would be retrieved from the NixOS's default packages, meaning it's going to be old. It took me some time to figure that out because previously I was also installing ZLS over here, and then I faced an error. ZLS couldn't load the standard libraries, which I'm going to show you the error. And meaning I couldn't get any benefits of the ZLS. Now if we check ZLS version, it would be 14, while Zig version is 15. And in the ZLS documentation they also mentioned that you need to use the updated nightly version of ZLS if you are using nightly Z. So it took me some time to figure this out, but to showcase it to you, I'm going to open exercises and see this Zig file, the first exercise basically. Takes some time to load it because my Emacs is also going to load the new updated dev setup. Okay, now if I enable edlot, it will send this error that Zig standard library directory could not be resolved. It's not an error, it's a warning. But basically what it means, it will check for the syntax, but it cannot autocomplete anything related to SCD, which is kind of annoying, especially for me that I'm learning it. So to solve this issue, what I need to do is to use GitHub ZLS, to use this GitHub repository, which also is a flake, to basically install the version that I need. And that for that I'm going to use dev here at ZLS URL GitHub Zig tools ZLS. I hope I typed correctly. It was kind of annoying. I was trying to install this package like you normally do with Nix and add that into this packages list. However, actually let me do it. If I do it like inputs, ZLS packages, and then packages system, and for this I need to use the default interface. If I actually you don't semicolon there. If I install it like this, okay, seems like I have a problem here. Oh, there is no dash. Dev YAML, yeah, remove this. When I do this, it looks fine, right? It tries to install something. And since I've already compiled this package, it's not going to wait that much. But the first time I did it, it was actually compiling something. But eventually I was ending up with still ZLS version 0.40, which took me quite some time to debug it. I was thinking, okay, I'm checking this flag. This flag is clearly indicating on this default interface, which points to this one. Is clearly building out of this Git repository, right? And I learned something about the build system of Zig, that the version is indicated inside this file, and this is hard-coded to be at least a 15. There are 3 strategies to load the version number. Meaning one, you can indicate on the compile time. There is a default one, and there is a fallback strategy, which I'm not sure. The default one I think is based on the latest tag on the Git repository, and then there is also fallback, which is one of these hard-coded values. Anyways, I was trying to debug this because everything in my setup was clearly indicating that I have installed the version that I need, but in the shell, I couldn't get that. Why, I couldn't figure it out. And then out of a sudden I thought maybe somehow I'm shadowing the package I'm trying to install here, and that was actually true, because the dev and developers decided to also put ZLS as part of the configuration for the Zig language. This is, yeah, of course, it's with all the good intention out there. This is, for me, is the kind of abstraction that can be more harmful than useful. Yeah, simply because, let's say, in future there is another language server provided by someone else. What would be the strategy here? Are we going to consider ourselves and yeah, basically dev and opinionated setup, or we are going to support that one as well, and then which language server takes priority, stuff like that. And if it was up to me, I would consider not providing this option, and if provided, I wouldn't set this to be enabled by default, because now, even though I don't have any indication of the ZLS setup here, it's actually installing the ZLS version, and it's installing it out of the official repositories of NixOS, which means it's outdated for my setup, and it's not compatible with this package. Maybe I need to open a ticket for this on DevM's repository, but for now, to solve this issue, what I need to do is edit here that this is the package I need. Hopefully, after the first compilation, I don't have to do much if it can get loaded. Yeah, let's wait for it. It's compiling. Given what I shared, one might ask why I'm even using dev, and is it providing some confusing abstractions, and most of the things that is doing is actually possible with Flex, but for me the main interesting parts are services like this, and I'm trying to keep my development setup consistent, so that's basically why. So now if I try the version for the first time, now I'm going to also return, and my MRC will be evaluated. But if you see, oh, actually the correct version is let me see, no, the wrong version is installed still. This is the previous setup I had. Now if I do the IRM reload this time, hopefully, fingers crossed, I get the matching versions, and with that, ZLS version, maybe go out, Okay, this is confusing. I didn't save it. Do this package. Oh, okay. What I need to do is to remove my dev lock. So I enforce it to updates, hopefully. No, that didn't also work. Maybe a little bit more brutal. And remove everything related to that. Okay, now it's on the correct version. Beautiful. I just removed everything with regards to dev and it loaded the correct version. And if I go to this and open this one, and basically what I need to do is to rerun iglot. This time I see no error and I can do std dot and I get all the things that I need. So that being said, let's start the journey and maybe open the readme. What did it say? Welcome to Ziglings. This project contains a series of tiny broken programs and one nasty surprise. By fixing them, you'll learn how to read and write Zig code. Those programs need your help. You'll also save the planet from evil aliens and help friendly elephants to stick together. That's fine. This project was initiated. Yeah, that's fine. Intended audience. This will probably be difficult if you've never programmed before, but no specific programming experience is required. And in particular, you are not expected to have any prior experience with systems programming or a system level language such as C. That's very comforting. And what I hear, even if you have never programmed, it means that you need to spend more time on it, but it's possible to learn programming with this setup, hopefully. Each exercise is self-contained and self-explained. However, you are encouraged to also check out these Zig language resources, and that's what I'm going to do. There's also a Zig book, which I bought. I think it's also listed in Zig resources. Yeah, this Zig book. I have also read this book about 50%. It's very nicely written, and but I haven't started the project part yet, which I hope I can reach out to while I'm working on this series. Anyways, that being said, getting started, installed development build of the Zig compiler, that's fine. See the master, yeah, verify the installation and build number of Zig like so. Yes, this is what I've done. I also configured TLS, which is not mentioned here, and then run Zig build. That's fine. Knows about the version to check. Check out Ziglings for a stable release. You can use tag. Okay, they are also tagging their setup, so you don't need to do nightly version install. That's I didn't know, but that's fine. Right. So let's go here. I think I can do Zig build here, but also okay here. Yeah, it's indicating the error, but I think I also have a Zig compile here. Control CD. Okay, it's not as fancy as the terminal version. inside the Max compiler, but yeah, I get a bigger picture out of it. That's fine. So let's start solving this. It says, oh no, this is supposed to print hello world, but it needs your help. Zig functions are private by default, but the main function should be public. A function is made public with the pub statement in the beginning, yeah. And then perhaps knowing this will help you solve errors. Okay, let's go here, add pub, and beautiful. Now we can go to the second one. In the meantime, let me also check the third goal that I had. Now I need to solve 5 problems. One of them is already solved. And then let's open 002. Oops, the program is supposed to print a line like our hello world program, but we forgot how to import the standard library. Yeah, that I know. I can do const std. Yeah, basically define a constant. I think, yeah, they had a note here, import, which represent the imported code. It's a good idea to store the import as a constant value. Yeah, that's what I meant. And please complete the import below. Yeah, for the curious, imports must be declared as constant because they can only be used at compile time rather than runtime. Zig evaluates constant values at compile time. This is interesting. Don't worry, we'll cover this imports in detail later. Also, yeah, let's open this is Stack Overflow. Where's the question? Select definition with var instead of constant in Ziglang. Now learning Ziglang. He's a friend. He was a friend 5 years ago. I've seen definitions of structs with const keyword like. Okay. My understanding is that const is kind of complementary to var. The latter allows change, the former doesn't, but that means it's legal. It compiles, so yes. That compiles because Zig is lazy evaluated. Because y is not used. Okay. The compiler doesn't check it. When you reference it, the compiler will raise an error. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. So if something is not used, the compiler won't touch it. With that being said, let's build it. Second one also passed. So far, not much of a challenge. It seems we got a little carried away, making everything const u8. Const values you cannot change. U unsigned values. 8 means that the type is 8 bits in size. Example, foo cannot change. It is constant. Bar can change. Variable, yeah. Yeah. I means, yeah, we can. It's a signed value. I still remember it from back in university. The amount of values you can put in unsigned and signed. Size-wise, it's the same, but you have values on both sides of 0 when it's a signed value. U32, yes, and I64 is quite huge. Please fix this program so that types can hold the desired values. Maybe I need to reduce the music sound a little bit. Yeah. Let's fix this program. That's fine. Let's see what's happening. We have cannot assign to constant. Yes, that's reasonable. And what else? Const u8. Let's actually save it and maybe see u8 cannot represent integer values. Okay, the size maybe 19. Yeah, that worked. And USI big will. Okay, I solved this, but I cheated. I remembered that 19 from before. I think if I do 18 is the first one that it won't work with. Yes. So I should remember that. I need to learn how I can figure out how many digits I can put here. To the power of 19. Yeah, I think that's the thing. For example, I do IPython to the power of 19. Oh, actually, I did it before, and if it's unsigned, I can do it up until there. If I do 18, yeah, that's it. Okay, quite reasonable. There are no errors in the next line, just explanation. Perhaps you noticed before that the print function takes two parameters. Now it will make more sense. The first parameter is a string. The string may contain placeholders, and the second parameter is an anonymous list literal. Don't worry about this for now. With the values printed out. Okay. One thing that I was curious about was if I can do things like 0 and then 0 again, so it can repeat the values. But I think there are some exercises in next few, I believe, that cover this here. Inside the curlies, you can only define the type, but not the index from the array. That was quite convenient if it was available, just like Python, but it's not compatible with that. It's not just like f-strings Python. So with that being said, I think we solved this one. Let's make sure it compiles. Yeah, and the fourth one is failing. So let's learn some array basics. Arrays are declared with so we define the type contains the size. It's quite like the same information that you would need in a language like C. When Zig can infer the size of the array, you can use underscore for the size. It's beautiful and convenient. You can also let Zig infer the type of the value. So the declaration is much less verbose. What I noticed is that my music playlist just finished. Probably better to start from beginning. Yeah, that's enough. Anyways, I need to extend the number of public domain musics that I can play while I'm streaming without being blocked by YouTube. And yeah, you can also let Zig infer the type of the values, so the declaration is much less verbose. Okay, so this, I didn't get this. Is there any example? Maybe we can see it in future, but for the time being, I think it's reasonable to consider this the unique definition that we need. Get values of an array is using square brackets, and set values using square brackets, just like any other language. And the beautiful len method is also available. This is good. Okay. Problem number 1. This const is going to cause a problem later. Can you see what it is and how to fix it? Yeah, here we are setting the value. I think that's not possible. Problem 2, individual values can also be accessed with the square bracket notation. This line is sort of first, prime, first. Okay. Problem 2, looks like we need to complete this expression. Use the example above to set force to the force element, so 5. And use the property len, and I think now it should fail here as expected. So I do var wait a minute. Force is wrong. But found 13. 0 index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Expected 7. Okay, okay, I read it wrong, so this rookie mistake. Okay, problem 4 also solved. 2, 3, 4. And then the last one for today. I'm just experiencing my first stream, so I want to keep it concise and yeah, to keep myself motivated. So this is the last problem I'm going to solve for today. Hopefully I can get back soon to solving the rest of the problems. Okay, let's start with this one. Arrays number 2. Zig has some fun arrays operator. That's fine. You can use plus plus to concatenate. You can do a star, just like Python, to multiply and repeat. Note that both plus plus and a star only operate on arrays while your program is being compiled. This special time is known as Zig parlance as comp time, and we are going to get back to this later. Okay, that's fine. I have let, please set this array by concatenating le plus et, and then go to question mark. We want to have 0. It should be comma separated like this. Okay, that's all of the problems. Let's see the result. We could print it. Big build. Okay, the problem is solved. Let's see if there is anything else I need. Okay, that's all of the problems. Let's see the results. We could print, but let's have a little preview of Zig's for loop. Yeah, this is really nice. I've seen it before. I was always excited about this kind of improvement on the for syntax, which basically iterates over the values, make them accessible, the main value without any shebangs. This is interesting, and yeah, this is quite understandable. So yeah, this is it for today. If you watched it, if anybody watched it, thank you all. I would appreciate if you follow me. If you are interested to help me, to discuss, to join me in this journey, please feel free to send me a message, and take care.